world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, modern-day alchemist, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here on this last few days of March to talk about the last few days of March. So as you know, the week started with the full moon on Sunday. And the full moon, Aries sun, opposition, Libra moon. Very interesting combination. So the Aries sun, opposition the Libra moon, gave us a chance to come into the space of cooperation, into the space of loving and healing oneself as well as our relationships with others, our relationships with the things that we want to do with our ideas, our relationships with our idea of ourself. So, what you want to do for the rest of this month and most of this week, which is the rest of this month, is you want to follow up by paying attention to what has been the general theme for the month of March, which is to take appropriate action on the things that come up for us, the things that really do need to be dealt with. And one of those themes and things centers around the planet Neptune, around the planet of the soul, the planet of creativity, the planet of feet, therefore dancing. So it's asking a big question: what kind of dance are you doing through this life? That's what Neptune is always asking. What kind of dance are you doing? This whole last week and last of the month is devoted to healing, to acknowledging first what needs to be acknowledged, and then to actively, consciously healing that needs to be healed. So there are two things happening here. We have Mercury will conjunct Neptune, something that sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's been with us all month. Mercury, Pisces, Mercury, Neptune, very much the same thing. Mercury, how we think, how we gather and process information, how we manage to communicate from not only one to the other, but here, the head to the heart, to ourselves. Mercury is very important if we want to get things correct, if we want to be clear, if we want to be honest. Neptune is really about the creative aspect of life, the not so real aspects of life. And sometimes that's a good thing. But when it's associated with Mercury, you have to be very careful because there is the tendency to lie to oneself. And that is the word for it, lie. It's the tendency to deny, to lie, to forget. What we want to do is not do that with ourselves, especially this last month. It's kicking off an era of self-help, self-healing. And not just I help me, so that's self-help, but as I help myself, I seek out people who can help me help myself. That means therapists. That means counselors of some kind. That means healing, anyone involved in healing modalities. Seek them out and time to, in a sense, sit in the chair or lie on the table. That's Mercury conjunct Neptune, and that's going to be happening. It's happening. It's coming together as of midnight. However, there's a good 3 or 4 or more days that Mercury conjunct Neptune is going to be acute, that is going to take effect and really grab us by the shoulders and shake us. Take advantage of this wake-up call. It's a good one. The other thing that I want to talk about is the planets, Venus, healing, self-value, relationships, balance, and the sun, the life force, your consciousness, your ego, your heart. And they are both in connection with, conjunct together with, the point, that's what I call them, asteroids, points, Chiron. Chiron is the soul's wound. When you see it in a chart, it is not a planet, it is a point. When you see Chiron in the chart, you see where your soul's wound is. This the wound that you came into this lifetime to heal. And wherever that wound is, you must do the work. Well, we're getting a great bit of help today and tomorrow and the next few days because Venus is conjunct together with Chiron. Venus, the healer, is together with the soul's wound. This is great. And the sun, the life force, is together with Chiron, the soul's wound. This is a great thing. And the big message here is whatever it is you have been aware of that needs to be healed within you, please get to it. The other part of it is whatever it is that you have not been aware of, but you have been made aware of. Usually, when we're made aware of these things, it's by circumstances outside our control. That means something happened and you went, oh, wow, that's an aspect of me? Yes. Then pay attention to that aspect. But don't dwell on the wound. Don't pick at the wound. Say to yourself, this is obviously something I need to deal with because it keeps coming up, keeps happening. So now that it's continuing to happen, this is an absolutely great time to look at this wound and to heal it. And heal it. Do you need to seek out a therapist? Do you need to seek out an acupuncturist? Do you need to seek out a hypnotherapist? Who do you need to talk to? Talk to them and listen and hear. Hear all the way through to your soul. Because the soul wound, Chiron represents that. The soul wound is really phenomenal. When you heal your soul wound, you heal one of the places on the planet, in our life, in our society, you heal a wound there. So as you heal your soul wound, you heal a spot on the planet. And so it's a 2-for-1. You heal yourself and you help heal the planet. This is a great time to identify and release your old wounds. And it's a great time to acknowledge them. You have to acknowledge and accept them. You can acknowledge that somebody said that, or you can acknowledge that this thing keeps happening. Because when something keeps happening, that means that perhaps you've invested in it either consciously or unconsciously. When this thing keeps happening, maybe you need to take a look and see why this thing keeps happening. This is a very important time. We're about to go into April, which is a continuation in many ways of March, and in many other ways, it's a whole new breath of fresh air. And so you want to end this month of March and go into the month of April with a new weight and a lighter load. This is a great time to give yourself the gift of healing that which has slowed you down, that which has gotten in your way, interfered with your happiness, with your process and your progress. So on that note, I wish you great healing. I wish you a great coming to yourself and what you were meant to be, because you were meant to be what you really are. What you're meant to do now is discover how great you are. Be well, take care, and until next week.